Heyo, welcome to another episode of Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm your cab fare, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to another episode of Bloodhaus. How you doing, Josh?
What's up? Oh, I feel rough. I woke up at 4 a.m. because I had a nightmare, and then my dog just kind of kept me up. So I've been here drinking coffee for hours, just waiting for this.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's very early in the morning, listener. It's like 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, we're getting there. And I woke up to bad news this morning that I know is going to bum Josh out if he hasn't already heard it.
No.
Alain Delon had passed away.
Oh no! I wondered why I was seeing posts about him. Oh no!
Yeah, French cinema icon and maybe the hottest man in cinema, at least in French cinema. Alain Delon,
absolutely,
the star of Purple Noon, Le Sacre Rouge, Le Samouraï, Le Flic. Passed. The Leopard, passed away at 88 this morning.
What a shame!
I know.
What a beautiful man and a great actor.
One of my favorite things is that people have been posting a lot of info about him and stories and stuff like that. In commemorance of him after he's passed. And one person posted a screenshot of his Wikipedia page where it mentioned like children, and it's like at least 4 that we know
of. Well, he was French. What are you gonna do?
He was French. He was popular in the 60s. He got around.
Yeah. Also, Gena Rowlands passed away this week.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll see who's next.
I mean, we're losing some great ones of that generation. The greatest boomers are passing one by one right before our eyes.
It's been really sad to lose so many connections to like the best people of like the 60s and 70s of late. I mean, Peter Bogdanovich passed away a couple of years ago, and now Gena Rowlands. It is like left, right, and center. I worry for Ryan O'Neal.
I know. I was just going to say, I'm such a demented, dark person that I regularly think of the people who were hurt me the most when they're gone. You know what I mean? Like, of boomers in the movies, Mary Warnoff, like that one's going to be hard.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I think about this. I don't know why I torture myself like this.
No, I do this to myself whenever every few days I'm like, is Mel Brooks okay? Is John Waters okay? Is David Lynch okay?
Can we get a wellness check on John Waters?
Yeah.
Oh God, the David Lynch emphysema news is like, rough.
Good Lord. Anyway, but other than that, so that's very unfortunate. I'm probably gonna be watching quite a bit of Alain Delon movies this week.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I just watched through the new Tom Ripley show on Netflix, so we'll just be watching Purple Noon all week.
Sounds good.
So sexy. Oh my God. Have you been watching anything good of late, Josh?
I've been rewatching Veep, which is one of the best sitcoms of all time. Yeah, it just feels appropriate, and I'm loving it, of course. But I did go to the movies to see a big Hollywood blockbuster, which is not my bag generally. And I saw Twisters.
Oh my God, blocks were busted. Look at you. Went all the way to the cinema. Waited in a line.
I waited in a line. I have never seen Twister, the original movie. I was with a giant group of people who love Twister, the original film from the 90s. All of us really hated this movie. I have to say, I haven't been this bored in a movie in the movie theater in many, many years. I found it so tedious. It had Kiernan Shipka in it, who I love, and she's quickly whisked away into a tornado, never to be seen again. And I was so mad about that. And then I was like, I wish that the tornado had taken me as well so that I could escape this movie. She got whisked away to do Long Legs, which is a better place as far as I'm concerned. It feels like a Christian rock cover of a cool 90s song. It is so chaste and boring and bland. There's like a love story brewing the whole time, and then it all builds up. Like literally, the character Glenn Powell chases her into an airport at the end, which is a classic, love story trope. And then they're about to kiss, and then he just takes her by the arm and leads her away in a way that made my whole theater gasp and then start laughing because it felt so obvious that there was supposed to be a kiss. So I Googled it, and in fact, they did film a kiss. And get this, Drusilla. They said that they decided not to use the kiss because if the characters kissed, it would make it seem... I'm sorry, it's hard to say this without laughing. They decided to cut the kiss because they said it would make it seem like if the characters kissed, they were no longer focused on their goal of stopping tornadoes.
That's
It's like
so
the
fucking
stupidest
stupid.
fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. It feels like they took too seriously all the Twitter, content about kissing and sex in movies. Like, I don't know. Studios are listening to teenage virgins too much. That's what I have to say about it. It's such a bad movie. I can't. I'm flummoxed by why people like this movie. I thought it was so tedious, so boring. I think Glenn Powell is charming in this and in general, but
I think he's the only
that's
reason
about it.
people are showing up. I love Glenn Powell. I think he's a movie star. I think he's outrageously
Absolutely.
like magnetic on the screen. Hitman is like absolutely my jam. I enjoyed the new Top Gun movie almost solely for him, and Val Kilmer. But like, you couldn't pay me to go see Twisters. Here's the other thing: I saw Twister as a child. I have no interest in it. I have negative interest in that original Twister movie. Like, I know the cast is really good, but like, there's been a revival over the past couple of years, especially on Twitter, especially like during lockdown and stuff, of people being like, "Hey, actually, Twister was great," and that's why we've gotten Twisters now. And
I don't believe
a lot of my friends, are like a big part of the groundswell of like Twisters is incredible.
Yeah.
Disagree. Not for me. I also I don't like disaster movies.
I do love a disaster movie. I love a disaster movie. But I didn't see Twister when it came out because I was a teenager. And so I was already wearing black and smoking cloves and listening to Susie and the Banshees or whatever. And so I didn't want to go see it.
Born
yeah, you were busy being born. We know that you're young, Drusilla. Okay, you don't have to rub it in. But I was already in my mind as a 14-year-old or 15-year-old or however I was, I felt like I was too cool. And I think that that's true still. And I don't believe the hype around original Twister or the new Twisters, which I have seen.
It's a shame.
I wouldn't be talking this way about a horror movie because it would hurt my career possibly because I write horror. So if this was a horror movie, I wouldn't be doing this because it's such a huge blockbuster. I feel fine in saying like, I don't like this movie and I think it's bad.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, also, like, it's okay to say that you don't enjoy a piece of art. Like, it's not for everyone. Like, especially like a big commercial affair like that. It's not like, it doesn't have to be for everyone. It's okay to be like, no, it wasn't for me.
Well, I'm so glad that you said that because I've been thinking about something that I've wanted to talk about on the show and I keep forgetting. Who are the really great horror movie critics of the moment? Like it feels like I'll hear so much advanced praise about a movie, how it's like the greatest horror movie in years. And then I go and see it and it's like a fine 3-star movie that I liked. But it feels like we don't have critics anymore. All we have is like publicists and influencers. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the people who are called critics are really influencers. Do you know what I mean? And they praise every single movie because the studios are giving them things or inviting them places. It's like, who can I trust? Who's the Pauline Kael of horror criticism in 2024?
Who's willing to like throw almost everything under the bus, but then like blindly champion one filmmaker even when he sucks.
Here's the thing is it feels like all of these critics actually want to be in the game. They want to be friends with these filmmakers or these studio people.
Or they want to be unwilling.
Or they want to be making stuff themselves. It doesn't feel like they want to actually be a critic. And it feels like they want to be popular rather than partake in the art of criticism.
I will also say a friend of mine is a film critic who's gotten gives generally positive reviews to a lot of things. And some people have gotten have talked to them about that and be like, do you just love everything? And they were like, I work for a corporation that I write these for, and they only allow me to write so many negative reviews. Well, they're I get 5 negative reviews a year. I have to dole them out.
Yeah, I don't mean to judge these particular individuals so harshly because I guess that's the thing, right? Like New York Times isn't paying people to be critics in the way that they used to. It feels like the market isn't supporting people to be actual critics anymore. And So I guess that's the thing. It's just like people can't afford to be critics anymore. Is that it?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. But also, like, maybe this is your time to move into a different sphere of
Oh
the
no, no,
industry,
no.
Josh.
I don't want that. I feel like people have such an idea of me as like a hater, and I really am not. I am like a very sweet, kind person in real life, but it's just like, come on, like no one tells the truth. That's the thing. I don't want to
Yeah.
be in that, but that's the other thing. Is like I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, I just call them like I see them, because those people are always just like the most mean, horrible
Yeah,
person
bigoted
you've
pieces
ever
of shit.
met.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that either. But I just feel like, come on, someone be honest.
I could never do it because I could never sit through that many contemporary movies all the time. Like,
That's the other thing. I always think that about like AMC. What is it? Where you get to see 3 movies, A-list
Stubs
like,
or whatever. Yeah, A-list.
yeah, I'm like, there's not 3 movies a week that I want to see. Like, I want to see 1 movie a month, maybe. You know what I mean?
I have it, and it's been useful because there's enough stuff that I want to see. But also, like, I see more contemporary stuff now that I work at agencies and I work on contemporary stuff, and like, but still, I'm watching fucking 70s movies and fucking 40s movies at home. Like,
Yeah.
my diet is. I have a friend of mine recently was telling me that like they're having a difficult time like getting motivated to like watch movies and stuff like that, and they're only watching like the new things that are coming out and what they can see in theaters and like what they can rent that just came out. And I'm like, you can also just like put on a Cary Grant movie. You can
Yeah.
like go put on fucking Terminator 2. Like, you don't
Mhm.
have to be watching like whatever A24 is pumping out on the content tubes. You can
Totally.
easily just be like, oh, there's a 50s Japanese movie on the Criterion channel I've never heard of. Let me try it out.
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, horror fans are blessed because there are always great new horror films coming out, no
This
matter
year's been
what's
really
in
good for
streaming.
horror.
It's been great. So I feel like that's more or less always true. There are times where the genre is like a little bit sleepier, but there's always good horror movies. It's one of the only genres that constantly performs well in box offices. So,
and it's
we'll always
one of
have
the most
them.
important genres of the film history in general. Like,
Yeah. And they're cheap to make and they make a lot of money. So it's like a business model that works, you know?
It's lovely.
Anyway, how
Anyway,
about you?
speaking of great modern horror movies at the box office, I went to go see a contempo horror movie that just came out. I went like opening day. I went on like a Thursday, the quickest showtime I could get. And it's really appropriate for today's episode. I went to go see Tillman Singer's Cuckoo with Dan Stevens and Hunter Schafer.
Can't wait.
I will obviously not spoil it because it's brand new in theaters and you haven't seen it, and we're literally talking about his other movie today. So this is very much primer. If you haven't seen Cuckoo, or if you've already seen Cuckoo in theaters and you're interested, this episode is very much doing that for you. But I had a blast with Cuckoo. It is so steeped in like 70s, 80s, like Euro cinema, Euro horror. Like, there's a heaping dose of Argento's Phenomena in there. There's so much really, 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 really fun, weird stuff going on. And it's weird in a way that as it progresses, you're constantly being like, what are you doing? How does this connect to that? Like, genuinely, what are you doing? And it does add up, and it does like make sense in the end. But it's still like the sense it makes is Cuckoo. Like, it is kind of genuinely weird and like a little unhinged, but it's really, really, really fun. Hunter Schafer is like such a fucking movie star lead. Like,
Yeah.
On every front. And I will say, like, the like conversation that's been had a lot, especially within queer and marginalized communities in the past like 5-10 years over like representation on screen. I remember I worked for like a queer media company, and they like interviewed everyone on camera being like, when was the first time you saw yourself represented on screen? And so many like white gay guys were like, oh my god, Billy's Big Hollywood Screen Kiss in the 90s, or like Get
Right.
Real was my thing, and like that's when I saw myself, and I was like, I don't have that. Like I like flat out have like never seen a character that looks and acts like me on a screen
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Instead now we have Hunter Schafer and a little and like a little wife beater crop tops and like bomber jackets playing bass with like her like dyed cut blonde hair, running around like riding a bicycle everywhere with big headphones, and then like making out with French girls, and I'm like, oh no, finally representation.
I love that.
In Germany, no less. My God. And okay, also like she's great. She's a movie star lead. She's in, like the emotional anchor of the movie. She proves such a badass and like an insane amount of physical comedy. But then also Dan Stevens steals the whole movie.
Oh my God. I love him so much.
I adore Dan Stevens.
What a charming, funny, weird actor. And who would have thunk it based on Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
You know? Which I loved, but it's just like it's such a different thing. It's such like a prim and proper posh British thing. And so I just when he popped up in The Guest, I was like, oh my God, that's the guy from Downton Abbey. And it's only gotten better since then.
It's only gotten better. He's so great in this. His German accent is like top tier. It's so fun. He's clearly having so much fun. I saw an interview with him talking about it. And it's Hunter Schafer's first movie. So they filmed it a few years ago, and it's just been sitting in the can for a while. Neon's finally putting it out, which makes me so happy. But it's the very first thing she filmed after Euphoria. She did, I think maybe she filmed it before season 2 of Euphoria, but after the little Euphoria movies or something.
Yeah.
And apparently she was really stressed on set. And I saw an interview with Dan Stevens being like, it was really important for me to show her that like set could be fun. Because she'd come from an experience where like every single day was emotionally grueling and everyone treated you like you were like tough and having a hard day and stuff like that. So I wanted to let her know that like we can go do fucked up stuff and then go have fun after. Like it can be a light fun set.
Is that how Euphoria is? It's like dark over there.
Apparently it's not a good set to be on from all of the everything I've heard, which is a big fucking bummer. But those Euphoria girls are making bank at the Neon Horror box office right now.
It's true. Sydney Sweeney, Zendaya. I mean, those are some big stars. Jacob Elordi is from that as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's a huge cast.
It's incredible. I think
we'll never get another season of Euphoria.
No, we fucking won't. No, it's dead and buried. Especially after The Idol. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No one wants that. Cuckoo is so fun. Highly recommend. I had a freaking blast. The sound design is like truly top tier. There's an editing trick that they do throughout the movie that I deeply adore. And we'll get into all of that stuff about Tillman Singer and his beautiful weirdness right now.
Let's do it right now. So today we are discussing a film from 2018 by the aforementioned Tillman Singer. It is Lose. I loved this. I thought you really loved this. I did. I had a weird experience with it because I watched the first 30 minutes of it and was like, oh no, I'm not really into this. This is like kind of sloggy. And then I was having a really bad week. And then I watched the other half of it last night and was like, fucking A, this is so good. And the reason is because when I picked back up, I started when they were setting up the interrogation room. That's when I started watching it again, which is like the beginning of the main part of the movie. And from that moment on, I was so hooked in.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the style so much. I loved that it's filmed on 16 millimeter. The sound design is so exceptional. The acting is really great, of course. I love the production design. I love the banality of these spaces, the sort of corporate
Yeah.
carpet and the wood paneling. I love this movie. Really loved it.
Yeah, I was really, really, really excited by it. It's one I've been meaning and wanting to see for years now. Like the moment it hit the scene and those like first few stills were coming out and the fucking awesome poster came out and stuff like that, my interest was beyond peaked. And then our mutual friend Frank Jaffe of Altered Innocence put it out and like gave it a really lavish home video release. And like Yellow Veil Pictures was like almost entirely formed just to put this movie out,
Yeah, yeah.
which are all like all people we know, all great like labels we fucking love and trust. And so I was like meaning to see it, and then and especially with Cuckoo coming out, I was like, okay, fine, I'll finally do it. Because it's one of those movies that looks so up my alley that
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like hesitant with contemporary movies that like if something
Mm-hmm.
looks really up my alley, I'm really worried I'm not gonna like it because I've been disappointed in the past. Thankfully, this was not the
Yeah.
case.
I mean, I don't have your discomfort with contemporary movies. If it looks like it's going to be like a slow burn, arty farty horror movie, I'm signed on. I'm locked in and ready to go. So I felt like that with this. Um, yeah, I do. I guess I'll just give a little quick synopsis so that I can talk about the next thing that I want to say, which is that this movie follows a young woman named Luz, who is a taxi driver. She is from South America, I think, but living in Germany. The story happens out of order, but essentially what has happened is that when she was a Catholic schoolgirl in South America, she and her dorm mate did some sort of satanic ritual that unleashed a demon that has been following Luz ever since and has caught up to her in her 20s as a taxi driver in Germany via another girl that went to her Catholic school who gets into the back of her cab. Then the demon hops into a doctor who is part of a police interrogation, and that's when it all kind of comes to a head. I'm very tired. Does that make sense? Is that it?
That mostly makes sense. Yeah, there's a demon
Okay.
that's been following a girl, and when she goes to a police station for like respite and for safety,
After an
uh,
accident.
after a car accident, um, the demon hops into the body of the psychiatrist who's sent to interrogate her,
Yeah.
and things spiral out in like a really crazy demonic hypnotic recreation of events and like a really it unfolds as you mentioned, like it doesn't happen in order. All we see is she comes to the police station, we see a psychiatrist at a bar talking with a woman, and we start to piece things together, and then throughout the course of the movie it starts to unveil through recreation what has
Yeah.
been happening.
So it kind of, once we're in the interrogation room, it kind of becomes like a contemporary play. You're just in these really
Mm-hmm.
simple chairs, but then, you know, the story is happening inside the taxi cab, but we're still actually just in this room with her in a folding chair with sound dubbed over top. And so it's done basically like a play a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Once that moment happens, when we're in the room and they're setting up the chairs, I'm locked in completely. So
Yeah.
my one thing is that I I did think the first half hour was a little bit sloggy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were going to offer a criticism, it is on the screenplay level, which is like I would just take that scene, pull it out entirely, the bar scene that make up the first 30 minutes. Whatever information I needed, I would put it in the interrogation room. So I would just like I mean, I just think that that's the movie for me. Like, I would start there with the interrogation beginning and just put everything in that style. And in the way that it's out of order, I would keep all of that. But it's just like I was not locked in for 30 minutes, and then once that happened, I was like, okay, here I am. Here's the movie. I love this.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
I I kind of had that a little bit, but I really enjoyed that bar scene. Jan Bluthard, who plays the psychiatrist, is incredible. He
Very
like
good.
really understands the world he's in this movie. He's
Yeah.
also in Cuckoo, I should mention, as a pretty
Mm,
central character.
mm.
Um and he and the actress who plays the woman from the cab are like
They're great.
They know exactly what they're doing. And their performances are really like dialed up, keyed in. And they're like so spot on. I was having fun with all of that, and I was like, okay, we'll see where this is going. Things were a little long in the tooth, but I was fine with it. And then as soon as we started setting up in the like big interrogation room, and they bring out the like kind of like C stand with a like rear view mirror on it, I was like, what are we doing here?
This is rad.
And as soon as like he does the like classic palm to the face like hypnotic trance thing on her, I was like, I am in. Let's go.
I felt the exact same way. And to be clear, what I'm pitching is not, I guess, to lose that scene entirely. I would cut it up into a couple of pieces and just move it to that interrogation somehow. So you know what I mean? So we go into that scene through that route. That's all. Otherwise, I love this movie. I love the style of it. The acting is incredible. The sound design is some of the best I've experienced in a really long time.
Yeah. Both between this and Cuckoo, his like sense for audioscapes is incredible. I had so much fun within this, and the way that while shooting on 16, they clearly like beyond know how to light and shoot 16 like a fucking motherfucker. They are able to get so many powerful, evocative images out of such a small space that all like. They all, if you just like gave me the stills, I would be like, oh, that's like an 80s demonic possession movie from Spain or something. I don't know.
Which it is.
Which it is.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, this is a student film. This was his thesis film for film school. It's pretty extraordinary considering that.
Yeah.
But I just like the sort of like, I don't know, you could call it like punk rock or even like experimental theater ethos, which is like all we have is this one space, but we want to tell this other story. So we're just going to tell that other story in this space that we have. Like it's such a genius idea for a film.
And I love the way that it plays with it too, because there's like one police investigator who's kind of like at one point kind of like stepped out of the scene under the control of another character, and they're like, we'll get to you later, I promise, but we're doing this now. And then midway through, like going back through like the stuff in South America and stuff, she walks in and he's like, no,
not yet.
Not ready for you yet. But it amps up the tension, and it like it like gets you on uncertain footing so well. A lot of that reminded me of the Kiyoshi Kurosawa movie Cure quite a bit, of like really like using like the tricks of the trade in filmmaking to really like unsettle and like take the rug out from under you, because like you're like, okay, this is the space we're in, we're telling this story, okay, now we're using this space to convey the cab, all right. And then as soon as you're like blowing the lights out and there's fog everywhere and they've got the candles and you're doing the like religious school demonic possession, it's like you're fully by that. And then as soon as it comes back to the realization of where you are, you're like, I don't know how they just did that. That's fucking incredible.
So cool. It kind of made me think of some of the Italians. Like, I don't know why I thought of Suspiria a lot, because I thought of like her coming out of the airport and getting into the cab, like a lot of images from that segment of Suspiria, the Catholic schoolgirl thing. I also thought of like Fulci's The Beyond, because of like the white contact lenses and the thick fog, and it's just got such a good aesthetic. I love it. He
clearly has such a deep love and understanding for those incredible Euro horror movies of the 70s and 80s, but also understands why they work and how they work to recreate his own stories. And honestly, like one of my favorite little nods in the movie is that Luana Vallis, who plays Luz, her like wardrobe and outfit is so cool, with like the little like baseball cap,
backwards cap,
and the shirt and stuff like that. And I was like, this is such cool character design. Like, she looks so cool. That's great. And then as soon as she sits down in the like cab, air quotes, I got it, and I was like, oh my god, he has her dressed like Winona Ryder in Night on Earth, where she's a cabbie.
Oh my god, you're
driving
right.
Gena Rowlands. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
I was like, she's literally dressed like Winona Ryder and Night on Earth as a cabbie. Got it. Okay, I see what we're doing here. I understand it.
I
Yeah, this
love
is
that.
super fun.
Do you know what? This movie has a lot of tropes that I love, like white contact lenses, for instance. But it made me realize something that I loved that I didn't realize I loved this much before, is like fake car interiors in movies. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it's just like green screen or like or a screen. I just love that. Like I could use a whole movie that's that.
I recently, I think just the other night, rewatched the like 2012 Brian De Palma movie Passion with my
Hmm.
girlfriend, with
Hmm.
Numi Rapace and Rachel McAdams, which is like the De Palma's like sapphic like thriller. That's like the most recent thing he's done that's close to his like 80s like sex thrillers. And it's filmed in like Germany, and he didn't have a lot of money to do it, and like it's shot by Almodovar's DP, but there's so many scenes in it where they're in the back of a car. It's clearly just a car sitting on a soundstage, and the like back window has like slats on it, like Venetian blinds or like the
Hmm.
back of a Porsche, but it's supposed to
Hmm.
kind of be a limo or something like that. But it's like, yeah, don't worry about that. This is like, we're going
Yeah.
somewhere. The car's moving, I promise. And it's like there's so many like scenes and shots like that, and like it's so like a 50s like Hitchcock thing. It's so
Yeah.
just like delightfully like, yeah, it doesn't have to fucking look real. We're not going for that. We're going for something else. And Luz
Yeah.
is so Brechtian in being like style forward, idea concept forward, like realism to the fucking trash. Like,
Yeah, you're right. It is Brechtian. It is like we're interested in artifice, right? Like we're not
mhm.
interested in you being immersed in this. We are presenting this as fake because it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like this is all fake, and that's not the point. Yeah, I loved it.
I
The
had so
style
much
of it's
fun with
so
it.
good.
The one my as you had issue with the first half, my only one thing is I would have personally preferred a slightly more like bombastic conclusion to like send us out
Hmm.
on a grace note.
Yeah,
Which
I can see that.
it's a far quieter ending than
Hmm.
I was expecting. But also, like, again, it's a student thesis film, and on that level, it's a fucking 10. Like,
Incredible. Yeah.
but as a movie itself, the fact that like it's able to be both things, the fact that it's a student thesis film, but also like a theatrically released like festival darling that is like an actual like banger of a art horror movie
And
is
you're
like,
right. You do have the opportunity to get like a real bombastic, scary finale. You have a police officer with a gun. You've got the guy in the booth. You've got the
you've got a,
naked dorm mate. Like,
yeah, you've got this demonically possessed someone that like, and it's also kind of implied that, you know, Luz herself may have some kind of supernatural gift of
mm-hmm.
some sort. um and there's a story that's told multiple times about the movie about how girls at her school were sick for months after something she did.
Right. It's not quite clear in a way that I actually like. I think the
Hmm.
mystery of what happened at her school is really interesting. I like that the movie is willing to not explain everything. I don't think that that's like a byproduct of bad writing. It seems very intentional in a way that I really
Hmm.
like. And I kind of miss movies that are willing to not explain things. And I don't know, this movie made me think about screenwriting a lot, which even though I had that criticism of the script, I still appreciated it because I've been feeling so much, and I've talked about this a lot on the show, but like I feel so much like screenwriting has become such a rigid craft that movies are more and more predictable. And I miss one thing I love about old movies before we were so slavish to structure was that they had room to breathe. They were a little bit shaggy and weird, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but at least it's like a filmmaker's idiosyncratic vision a lot more than it is
Yeah,
today. So I appreciated that about this movie a lot.
that's something I really love about this movie, and the way that his both of his movies so far have like unspooled, that they are very like not predictable, very bizarrely moving, they're very idiosyncratic. There's one thing in Cuckoo that felt like a studio note, and when you see it, we'll talk about it. That
Yeah.
there's a piece of exposition that's given as a voiceover, like 80-yard bit, um, like near the beginning of Cuckoo that I feel like was a studio note of like, you need to clarify this one thing up front. You need to like communicate this concept about these characters up front. This one thing, here it is. There you go, fine. And I feel like had that movie not had that, and then it just had grown organically through the rest of the stuff, which the movie does. You could like not hear that line, and then the movie would grow organically, and you'd be like, oh, you'd like midway through, you'd understand, oh, that's what's going on. I understand these characters better now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would have been a lot more successful about that, but I could absolutely hear the like neon executives over Tillman's shoulder being like, you need to put that line in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the reason that I like art movies and indie movies and cult movies, right? Like I'll sacrifice a lot of things in order to get an artist's idiosyncratic voice that's interesting to me. Like I would rather a movie be a little bit sloppier, a little bit cheaper, a little bit stupider, a little bit whatever, if it is somebody's idiosyncratic voice, rather than a movie that's like tighter and glossier made by a studio. Do you know
I
what
will
I mean?
watch 17 million more movies like Lose. I would be honored to than ever go see Twisters. Like,
yeah, I mean, I love this, and this is not shade on this company who I love plenty of the stuff that I do, but like the Blumhouse produced version of this looks really different, right? Like this would have been so much more, that script would have been so much more, I don't know, tighter in a way, but also more predictable. It would be much more commercial. All of the mystery would be ironed out of this. It just, I don't know. It just looks completely different without this director having complete control over their voice.
There is absolutely a like American remake version of this that doesn't exist as of yet, that we're like midway through all of this, a character walks in, like a Zelda Rubinstein type walks in, or a Lin Shaye type walks in and explains everything that they walk in. Or maybe Russell Crowe walks in and he says, I'm the Pope's exorcist, and I was down in South America at that girls' school, and here's exactly what happened, and here's the rules on how to beat the demon.
Yeah.
We need these 3 amulets, and if we can go collect them, then he will be powerless to our love of God. And you're like,
that's such an annoying studio executive thing. Like, what are the rules? It's like, shut the fuck up about the rules. Do you know what is mysterious is the supernatural? Do you know what like can't be explained is the supernatural? Like, I just hate the rules. Like, shut up about the rules. It's so tedious.
Fucking Gremlins ruined it all with the rules.
Yeah. It's like, how does this serve the plot? And it's like, it doesn't. Actually, stories need room to breathe.
Yeah.
Like, not every single thing has to be about plot.
I will say, I this week rewatched a movie that was at the time of its release a big, like, family-friendly blockbuster from the like late 1970s, mid 1970s, whatever. That by today's standards is like a scrappy, weird little indie movie and art film. I watched the original Bad News Bears.
Oh, I love that movie
with Walter Matthau,
Jackie Earl Haley, and Tatum O'Neal, and
I watched that this week for the first time. I assumed I had seen it before, which again has gotten a big polished Hollywood mid 2000s remake, still by like, you know, a contemporary indie art house filmmaker, but that is still a very like ironed out, like crisp, clean version of that. That is a ragtag, scrappy, weird little movie that's got more in common with like Streetwise and like Barbara Koppel documentaries than it does like any sort of like Disney kids fare.
It's a juvenile delinquent movie, essentially.
It's a juvenile delinquent movie, and like it's Walter Matthau's nothing like he normally is, and he's like a lot. They've got like 8-year-old kids saying the N-word, which not great, but not great. But
different
like
time.
Weird, but definitely weird. And it's like none of the shots are like beautifully composed. It's all very like rough and tumble, and the script is not like cleanly polished out. It's more just like, here's some things that happen, here's a handful of events, and then the characters grow throughout those events, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Well, look, we have a new Alien movie coming out, which you and I are both seeing today. But if you think about the first Alien movie from 1979, that's a weird movie. It's very arty. It's very slow. The production design was visionary. There had never been anything like it. I was thinking about the original Jurassic Park film. Like, if you've watched that recently, you don't see a dinosaur until 45 minutes into the movie, because it's like really taking its time to set up the characters and you know what I mean? Like, it's super arty. Compare that to these new Jurassic World movies, which are like, here pigs, come and eat your slop to American audiences. Like, that's the feeling I get from a lot of contemporary movies. Like, here, piggy, eat your slop. Here's your slop. It's
That's
like,
how I feel about like that new Deadpool movie and stuff like that. It's
exactly.
And yeah.
Like,
hey, you know this thing, right? You want to see it? You want to see the thing? We're going to see the joke. You know that meme, right? We're going to do that meme, but on a big screen. We're going to make a multi-million-dollar actor do that meme. And you want to see him do the meme? Piggy.
We are at our snobbiest this episode, but it feels good. So what are you gonna do?
It's needed to happen. We just need to let a little bit out.
Yeah.
But you're also like in the same breath praising Jurassic Park, so you're not that
snobby. I love Jurassic Park. I think it's a great horror film, and it's got beautiful characters, and it's like, actually, the first time you see those dinosaurs, like 45 minutes into the movie in that big wide shot, it's really magical. Like, it really is impactful. In a way that none of the other ones are, because they're such cash grabs. They're such like sloppy cash grabs.
Anyway, back to the German fare that in front of us lose.
Yeah.
I had so much goddamn fun with this movie. I
loved it.
Deeply love German cinema, love the culture, love my people, love my ancestry.
I would love to see a stage version of this.
This would honestly
be a great play.
Lose the musical.
But not like not a campy musical like the Evil Dead musical or Little Shop of Horrors, like a really earnest, sophisticated, arty, like, get some opera composer to do the music, you know? Like,
I think you could do it, Josh. You could write a whole song.
I can't write music.
You could write the lyrics, but like all set around her like change of the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
In this movie, which is great.
Great.
A grandpa's lap.
There was an opera I saw at St. Anne's Warehouse of, it came from London, and it's an opera of Let the Right One In. And it was really beautiful. Like, do that treatment here.
I know that there's a really famous stage production version of Roman Polanski's The Fearless Vampire Killers that's under its original title. It's not Dance Macabre. It's something like that. And it's like, it was huge in Germany and it was huge in Japan. And then they tried to bring it to America on September 10th, 2001.
Oh, no.
It had also been like heavily revised and the lead had changed and all this stuff. And so like it was off to a bad start to begin with. Then it was like the week of 9/11.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Did you ever see stills? This happened maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago at this point, but there was like a children's school, like an elementary school or middle school production of Alien, where it's like that movie Rushmore, like Max's school place, like a really elaborate, cool set. Like, and Sigourney Weaver came to see this production because it was like so viral. It was so cute and cool.
I deeply love stuff like that. Rushmore is one of my favorite movies of all time. Movie. I deeply, deeply, deeply relate to Max Fisher as a character. And there's something I just strongly love about like a scrappy little, like, we're gonna do this big ambitious thing on a really small scale. We're gonna do it with like toilet paper tubes, and you're gonna buy it. Like, it's gonna work. Like the heaven and earth, like, Vietnam play at the end of that movie just moves me every single time. It's the Serpico with fucking like 12-year-olds.
I love it so much.
It's incredible. And that's that's what Luz is doing. Like, it's doing that exact kind of thing, but entirely earnestly and in the fucking like Euro horror genre. And it's like just a fucking hoot and a half.
Loved it.
I could not have loved it more. I truly a huge fan. I think you're gonna love Cuckoo, Josh.
I can't wait.
Get your AMC A list out.
Well, let's move on to Have They Seen It? Our favorite game, where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie or not. I have a German in mind. She is a famous German opera and punk rock singer who now does like dance music and is kind of like a crazy vegan or something. This is an obscure one, but I'm going with it. Do you think Nina Hagen saw this? If you even know who she is.
Of course I know who Nina Hagen is.
I think most people don't know who Nina Hagen is, at least in the United States.
That's unfortunate. I love Nina Hagen.
Me too. I love her.
I think Nina Hagen's absolutely seen this movie. I think this is like one of Nina Hagen's favorite contemporary movies.
I think she would like it.
I think she would go hard for it. I was very excited to find out that a lot of the cast of Cuckoo did the movie because they're such big fans of Luz. Like Dan Stevens did it because he's a big fan of Luz. Jessica Henwick, who's in it, who's from Glass Onion and Royal Hotel and stuff like that, who's a pretty big actress, has a very like not major part in Cuckoo. She's like top billed. She's only kind of in it. Does not have much to do the whole movie. And I saw an interview where she was just like, I loved Luz so much, I told him like I'll do anything. Just I want to be in there.
Wow.
So like more people saw this than I expected to. So I'm very, 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 very pleased with that. This is like the sound design of the score to this movie is so good. And it's owed so much to all of those incredible Italian horror movies from like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. And when I think about the music to those movies, a single man is responsible for a lot of that. And that's Claudio Simonetti from the band Goblin, who like still tours and like does like live performances to Suspiria or to Demons and stuff like that all the time. And he's just like a huge fucking horror nerd, and he's super, super like sweet and kind and outrageously like talented. Do you think Claudio Simonetti has seen Luz?
At first I was going to say no, and I honestly think I was in my head being a little bit ageist, because sometimes I think that like older people don't keep in touch with the culture. But that's not really true, especially with artists. Like, of course he goes and sees horror movies all the time. And, so I would say yes, actually.
Yeah, I feel like...
And obviously he would love it.
I feel like there's a world in which he has. I'll like... Can you imagine, like, the next Tillman Singer movie and he gets, like, a former member of Goblin to do the score?
Well, that's the thing, right? I was going to say they might know each other at this point, because horror especially is really great about that. Like, young filmmakers get to meet their idols and become friends with them all the time. And so I think that he would be very flattered watching this movie, because of course it's referencing a bunch of movies that he worked on and people that he knows. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually know each other at this point.
They should. Truly,
yeah, they should.
Truly,
they should work together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we talked about Euphoria, and of course, it's produced a ton of stars. I think one of them that seems like more sophisticated than some of the others and may have seen something that's like indie and arty like this is Jacob Elordi. Do you think Jacob Elordi saw this?
I feel like it's possible.
Do you think he likes horror movies? He hasn't been in any.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I've seen interviews with him talking about stuff. I'm trying to suss out whether or not that's his bag.
I also might just think he's sophisticated because he's English. Which is like a weird bias that Americans have. That
I think he's Australian.
Oh, you're right. He just does a British accent a lot of, and Saltburn. I'm just thinking of Saltburn.
You just watch Saltburn all the time, Josh.
I love it. Can't get enough of it.
You're just rewatching Saltburn, licking it up.
Listener, I hate Saltburn so much. So Drew is teasing me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yes, he has. I'm gonna say when Hunter got the Cuckoo job, I'm gonna say he was a little jealous.
Okay.
I could see that. I could see that being a world. I mean, it had a big festival life. I know Beyond Fest like was like a huge like opening arm for this movie when it like hit Los Angeles and stuff like that. I could absolutely see a world in which he's seen it, especially at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like heavily available now too. Yeah, I think Jacob Elordi absolutely has your Shudder subscription as well.
I hope so. I hope he's watching The Beyond when he's
Easy
at home.
bet there. One of the best things about this movie is like the pure like raucous energy that in like creative like spark it gives off from being like a first feature and from having all of that like film school like excitement and energy coming straight out of it, which is like hard to maintain, and it seems like he has, and it seems like that's something that he has in spades, which is amazing. And it made me think a lot while watching it about other really great debut films, like really strong, really like self-identifying, like this director's on the scene. This is their whole ethos in one movie. They shoved everything they can into every frame, and like you'll never be able to forget it. And they should work forever because of it. That's not always true, unfortunately. No. However, there are at least a handful of movies like that have like launched incredible filmmakers and careers. And the one that I'm thinking of specifically is maybe the best debut film of all time, at least in the cult film sphere.
Bold claim.
Which would be 1984's Repo Man.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do not think you would disagree with.
I love that movie.
Like, Alex Cox, of course, being like a massive king of American and European and Japanese cinema, hosted Moviedrome TV show in the UK in the mid-90s and stuff like that. Do you think that Alex Cox has taken the time to step out of his little cabin in the woods and give Luz a watch?
I think so, because I don't think he has to step out of his cabin. I think he could just watch it on Shudder like we did, or like I did.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, because I don't think it's that hard to come by these days. And I think he obviously loves movies and it just watches a ton of shit.
Yeah. I think this movie would be outrageously exciting to him.
When you were leading up to saying Alex Cox, I thought you might say David Lynch, because I think that Eraserhead is probably one of the best debut films of all time.
That's also outrageously correct. Yes.
It's my favorite David Lynch movie because I feel like it's such a pure vision from an idiosyncratic artist that it's just astounding to me. But Repo Man works just as well.
I feel like Alex Cox is far more likely to give a movie of this kind a watch than
I mean, David Lynch doesn't watch anything.
Yeah.
He watches Wizard of Oz.
he watches his pack of cigarettes dwindle.
I think that's it for this episode of Bloodhaus. Please rate it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on X or Instagram at BloodhousePod. Drusilla, where are you?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. A whole bunch of stuff over there. You can also go pick up the book I designed the cover for, the Book of Elsewhere by Keanu Reeves and China Mieville, at like any local bookstore. It's kind of everywhere right now. It's all like the New York Times bestseller list.
Really? Really?
So it's great. You should go buy it, and maybe they'll let me do another book. And you can also follow me on Letterboxd. If you look for Sister Hyde or Drusilla Adeline, you can find me over there, and you can see what I've been making of other weird mid-2000s thrillers lately, because I'm kind of stuck in a mode. And you can also follow me on Instagram if you look for Hyde Sister. What about you, Josh? How can people look into your demonic past?
You can find my live journal at I'm kidding.
I know it's out there.
It is out there. It's all about doing cocaine. I am at Joshua Conkel on where am I? Blue Sky, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Next week we are watching an Asian classic. What is it?
We will be watching one of the most important horror and folk horror films out of Japan, a true classic of 1960s art house filmmaking that I have missed out on many years because it is long, and I have been like, I'll get around to it. And hey, guess what, listeners? I'm finally going to get around to it. By Masaki Kobayashi, we will be watching 1964's Kwaidan.
You're going to like it a lot, I promise.
I'm very
Bye!
excited.